Our next speaker is Andrea Gunn.
Thank you very much. I have a copy of my notes for the clerk. The LVEC business plan makes sense. The LVEC traffic and parking study makes sense. The proposed site makes sense. This whole project has proceeded in a logical and orderly fashion. You're making real a project for which Kingston has been asking for the last decade. I have 3 points to make this evening. First of all, a sports and entertainment centre will have substantial economic ripple effects which will benefit the entire community. Second, the City of Kingston is currently missing out on opportunities to bring business and visitors here through enhanced conference facilities, and the LVEC can help address that deficit. And third, developing the proposed LVEC site will make it safer and more accessible to all citizens. My first point, the LVEC is an investment in the community. Some people don't understand why we want to build an LVEC when we could spend money instead on sewers or roads or social services. This project will generate revenue so that we can afford these other things. This project is an investment in our community's economic future and quality of life, so Kingston can finally break the cycle of scrambling for money to play catch-up with its infrastructure problems and community services. The components of our community, business, social service, municipal infrastructure, public space, and community programs are all connected. A project which will stimulate business, employment, and activity in our downtown core will benefit all sectors of our community. Business property tax in Kingston is 3 to 5 times that of residential property tax. Successful businesses create jobs and help to pay for our roads and sewers, our parks and schools, social services, and recreation programs. An entertainment centre which will stimulate and in turn be stimulated by local businesses will bring revenue that will benefit other aspects of our community and enhance the quality of life in Kingston. Those who disdain the importance of business in Kingston's quality of life are only sabotaging all of our efforts in creating a caring and beautiful community. My second point, increased conference capacity will bring revenue and activity to the community. While the LVEC cannot fill all the gaps in services needed by Kingston, it can address needs that will have important spin-off benefits for the rest of the community. Our community needs more conference facilities. Our hotels and conference facilities are some of the best, but they cannot handle all of the requests for conferences and annual general meetings, both for businesses and non-for-profit associations, political conventions, and industry trade shows that all want to come to Kingston. For instance, the Paro Health Professionals Recruitment Tour comes to Kingston every fall, as we are one of only 5 academic health sciences centres in the province. If the Paro Tour and another large group want to come to Kingston at the same time, we can't accommodate them both. If the LVEC contained conference facilities, we would no longer be turning away business from Kingston. Some people worry about the proposed LVEC site and the spoilage of Kingston's waterfront. My colleagues and I cleaned up the England Bay last week for Pitch and Kingston Day. It's a property that's increasingly in the spotlight, and we wanted to ensure that it was clean and safe. We picked up 60 kilograms of garbage in under an hour. We also found used syringes and other drug paraphernalia. Current activities on the site detract from its safety and beauty and the full enjoyment by all citizens of this property. I would like to end with 2 short quotations from Daniel Burnham, the Chicago architect and city planner, who helped to rebuild that city after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Part of his 1909 plan for Chicago was considered North America's first example of a comprehensive urban planning document, and it included the reclamation of the Chicago waterfront as a functional public space for its citizens, and so I find his inspiration particularly apt. He said, "This spirit, the spirit of Chicago, is our greatest asset. It is not merely civic pride, it is rather the constant, steady determination to bring about the very best conditions of city life." Perhaps his most famous quotation is often cited when people are trying to accomplish a challenging but worthy task. He said, "Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood and will probably themselves not be realized. Make big plans. Aim high and hope and work, remembering that a noble logical diagram once recorded will not die. but long after we are gone will be a living thing, asserting itself with ever-growing intensity. Let your watchword be order and your beacon beauty. Think big. I would like to thank the LVEC team and before it, the Volunteer Task Force, for making big plans for our community as we ask them to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Gunn. Our next speaker is Carrie Bidmus.